I'm Old Head Ed.
And I'm Mr.Beleaf. And we like to welcome y'all to Barcodes. Barcodes is a podcast where we delve into the lyrics of your favorite MCs, verse by verse.
Each episode, we invite an artist onto the show,
break down their own bars, and give the listeners a deeper understanding of the meaning and inspiration behind their music.
From underground up-and-comers to established industry veterans.
We cover it all. So join us as we explore the art of emceeing and the stories behind the bars on Barcodes.
Yo, another episode of Barcodes. Bro, you've been busy with this.
Definitely.
We're moving in the right direction. We've got a bunch of these under, in the can, I would say, or in the stash, and ready to be dropped. I'm hoping everybody out there viewing, subscribing, commenting, rating, giving us the likes and whatnot. I'm hoping all of y'all are really enjoying this. There's a lot more to come. We've been putting in some work. Beleaf has got me all over the place.
Got you working, bro. I got you working, man.
Indeed.
And we definitely have had some heavy hitters, yo. But today, we got a motherfucking lyricist, like a heavy hitter, man. Like
not lying.
A poet.
I appreciate you guys.
You're not lying,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? He's a good friend of mine. And, yeah, man, the Wolves are in the building. That's all I got to say.
Yes.
The Wolves are in the building.
Word.
Joey Dasilva in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
What up? Good to have you guys come over, man. I appreciate this.
Bro, no, you opening the doors is the best. Yeah. It's like that's the most.
I don't know how you guys got me to even do this.
We haven't figured it out either.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, when you agreed, I was like, oh shit, he agreed. Let's go.
Yeah.
Got to break down these bars, you know?
Yeah, took a lot. But no, man, happy to be here. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it, dog.
Man, it's a good feel. It's a good feel.
How do we go forward?
Well, the first thing I'm going to ask you, like, we're going to break down, this is the format. We're going to break down the bars as first you're going to say the verses that the bars, the first couple of lines. Right? And then we're going to give our interpretation of it, or if something pops out of it or whatever, we're going to ask some questions. But the first question I'm going to always ask is, do you remember where you were at when you wrote this verse? And the verse that we're doing today is actually off of my album, Mr.Beleaf, shameless plug. You know what I'm saying? The song he features on is Letters in the Sky, and we're gonna break down his verse on that record today. So, do you remember off of the top, or?
Yeah, for sure. I was right here where I'm always at.
Full circle.
You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely, man. I remember you giving me the invitation to jump on, and though we've known each other for like a really long time, we actually haven't done a lot of music together. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we have, but a lot of it never was released. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I know how important this project was. Yeah. You know, and the features, man. Like, I knew I was gonna be up there swinging with some cats that, that everybody, they hold their weight. So. Yeah, for sure. I know I wanted to go in for this one,
No, so I appreciate it. Cool. You did go in, definitely.
I did.
Yeah. He's like, I did. All right, so let's start with the first couple of bars. Here you go. We're gonna have you recite them.
I do.
Yeah, because I don't want you to
we don't want to butcher the bars. We've been known.
Gotcha.
If we don't do anything else right in this podcast, it's actually we butcher bars. So.
Got you. So how many do I do?
Just do a couple lines at a time, and then we'll go from there. You want to do the first 4 lines?
Yeah,
that'll
four.
Work?
Yeah, four is important.
That's a good rhythm.
All right, cool. Shall I wear a noose for my haters? Parachute from a scraper. Steps that I left examine, investigate my behavior while standing true in the crater that's left from making my landing. Forever take it for granted, I'm here to do them a favor.
Okay.
Shit.
This is gonna be dope.
Yeah, this is gonna be one of those episodes.
It's gonna be good.
All right, so shall I wear a noose for my haters, or parachute from a scraper? Like just on that bar right there. From what I look at it, it's like, okay, so should I kill myself for the people that are hating on me? That's what I get from that line. Am I wrong on that, or is there a deeper meaning to that?
No, that idea exists. You know what I mean? But oh man, how do we? All right, let me figure something out here. All right, so I think before we jump into the content,
Yeah.
I think it's important that we talk about structure.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, because that is equally as important to me as what I'm putting down.
Okay.
And so 4 bar stanzas, that's how I'd like to get down. You know what I mean? Because you can come up with a dope idea, but typically a dope idea needs to be followed up with something. So, you know, for every dope idea or picture to paint, you're looking at least 2 bars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so if you're going to do 2 bars and you have like a pretty good rhyme scheme, I mean, that's going to leave you wanting for more. So 4 is like a great number for me to start. You know what I mean? Like that's a good skeleton to build on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So in this 4 bar stanza, we've got about 2 different groups. You know, we can designate it as group A and group B, right? And so each group is actually going to consist of about 3 to 6 words. And these 3 to 6 words are going to be about 6 to 8 syllables.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah.
And so it's really cool when you can have like a good opening that has 2 different groups. Usually you just have 1 group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if the more groups, the better. And it's cool to like mix them up. You know what I mean? So it's like when I look at these 4 bars, I see AA, BA, AB, and then back to A, BA.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And I see it with between landing and granted.
Right.
So yeah, so it develops in that
plug and
format.
play,
The
you know
code
what I mean?
inside of the bar.
Oh,
Bro, who would have thought? Who would have thought? Yeah.
you know?
So no, but that's dope. I'm glad
like
that you
that.
actually took the time to break that down, because that is a pivotal part of writing rhymes. It is, you know, cadences is one thing. A lot of times the rhyme will be dictated by just the flow the person chooses to utilize.
Right.
This time around, you're definitely breaking down where it's bars within a bar. There's rhymes within rhymes. So it's even for the moment that you take someone away without getting to. I mean, before we start breaking down the lines,
Right.
the moment you take somebody away, you'll get someone used to hearing a certain sound, and there's gonna be a moment where you take them away from that. Incorporate 2 different sounds, but you bring it all back together at the end.
You plug and play with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that just makes it more intricate, makes it more fun. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
When I'm writing, this is a workshop. You know what I mean? Like we come from a guild. You know what I mean? Like we have to put some work in. You know, and have fun with it.
And it reflects. It definitely reflects. I mean, just I'm excited to get into this for
thanks,
sure,
man.
because it reflects with everything you've done. Whether it's on a joint with Mowgli, this joint here with Beleaf, and the future projects. I know it's gonna be it's always gonna be quality.
Oh, word, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
So as far as the content, man, you and we've had a lot of discussions, you know what I mean? And we've had we're really good at debating, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're opposites.
Yeah, complete.
But it works. You know
And
what I'm
so I think where I wanted to go with this, I think that just the fact that you wanted me to be on it, like that's already planting a seed in my brain, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about one of our best debates, dog, is about religion.
Yeah.
You know? And this is like Peterson and Harris, you know what I mean? Like how we get down. And
I love that comparison right there, because that's facts right there.
Yeah. And so I think that's the seed that's planted. And then before we get to writing, I think of Bob Dylan.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I'm sitting there and I'm remembering of a documentary I saw when I was a kid. And so in the documentary, he had like someone that was close to him, and this is before he really started blowing up. And she's worried about him. She's like, man, we found his writings, and he was talking about like the sky falling down and end times and angels hanging off the side of buildings. And I remember that image like stuck with me. I was like, man, that's fucking cool, man. That fucking angel hanging off a building. I was like, what if he falls? Like,
He got wings.
well, he's hanging off the building though, you know what I mean? Like, but I was like, surely
He might just be chilling though.
might be. That's what I was thinking. I was like, yo, how would he even land? You know what I mean? Like, surely they weigh heavier than we do. You know what I mean? Like, what would that look like?
It's possible. It's like, there's no recorded weights on angels up to this date, so we don't know. We don't know.
I'm gonna put it on the bottom of the disclaimer.
And so that's your opening lines. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Should I put a rope around my neck and take a leap, you know, for my enemies? You know, only for that rope to maybe break and you land.
Yeah.
And upon your landing, you just create decimation upon impact. You know what I mean? With how heavy you are.
So you're thinking of like that.
Yo.
You know?
Man. You're thinking about
came
it.
Full circle right there. That was fucking perfect.
It's nuts because ideally, yes, if you're doing it, you're sacrificing yourself for those who oppose you, and you're doing this with like maybe the world would be better if I'm not here, and then you attempt this, and once you land, you can create a devastation that is gonna do more damage. Right,
and then through that damage, you're just looking back like, this may hurt, man, but I'm here to help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To help you out.
Yeah.
And
the favor. That's where the favor comes into part.
Exactly.
Do him a favor.
Yeah. That's me. That's really it's official.
See,
man.
that's why I wanted him on the show. Like, I knew I was like, yo,
wise choice.
We need him on the show just so he could break this down because the average listener hears it, loves the bars, but misses all of that.
Yeah. No doubt. Like, just to even get to those words, like there's the hurricane that goes on up here is, what I'm saying? You go through a lot to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I guess the next four.
Yeah, the next four.
Next four. One in the chamber. I barrel through while I'm moving. The music is therapeutic, no theraflu in the fluid that's filling up in my chalice. Standing up on a palace, long abandoned, hands are callous. I carry him through the ruins. How you doing?
Yeah. All
right. So that one, we got to go straight to the content on that one because that's serious right there. Like one in the chamber.
One in the chamber. I barrel through while I'm moving. So I'm not even a gun aficionado. But I could tell you that if you have one in the chamber, it propels. It gets propelled once it's fired through the barrel. Right. So that's and then you're moving. You're actually moving. The music is therapeutic. The music is therapeutic. See, I'm butchering the bars. No theraflu in the fluid. All right, that one I'm gonna need some help on though.
Oh, it's just theraflu. This one's actually that was not that crazy.
He's like, I ran out of theraflu.
Maybe it's because I'm trying to find a deeper meaning.
No.
Look, I ran out of theraflu. Is what you're saying.
Word. Well, just keep going. Let's see what let's see what happens.
Music is therapeutic. No theraflu in the fluid. That's filling up in my chalice. Okay. All right. See now. All right. Starting to. Okay. That's filling up in my chalice, standing up on a palace. So I'm going to assume that the theraflu in the fluid that's filling up my chalice, meaning you don't lean that way. That, in other words, you're not, what you're drinking, where you're drinking from, and I might be adding a whole other level to this bar.
Come on.
But what you're drinking is not, it could be a medicine, but it's not a,
this ain't,
it is a medicine.
Medicinal poison.
It's a medicinal poison. Yeah. Okay. Damn.
Right. It's like you're sick, theraflu is gonna cure you up, but you know what I'm saying, it's not work. There's no theraflu in it. So
but there's no theraflu.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're still sick in your palace. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it says like you're standing up on a palace with no theraflu in the fluid
in the chalice,
filling up in your chalice. So that meaning you're still sick, but
I was taking it. I was taking it along the lines of that. It's you don't have any activist, any lean. Like there's no medicine in your drink because there's no theraflu in the fluid.
I see what you're saying,
but I could be totally wrong. I mean, that's just,
I mean, we're just guessing here. Though.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. But me, I would never ever wrap anything with lean.
Got you.
You know what I mean? But just cause it's kind of it's whack.
No, indeed. Which it fits where I'm thinking it's like there's none of that. Like this is not what's included when I when I do this work. Yeah.
Right. So, back to structure for a second. So. One thing I like to do is when I'm starting off a new 4-bar stanza is I like to take my last 2 syllables from the last group of the last stanza. All right. You know what I'm saying? And that way we can keep up the momentum and energy that we've just established in the opening. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so if my last stanza, my last group was A, so this is like a lowercase a because I'm only using 2 syllables out of the 6 or 8. You know what I mean? And so really that's just, you know what I'm saying, one in the chamber. That sets me up with like I start thinking about chambers of a heart, and then Egyptian pyramid chambers, and stuff like that. You hold on to that; it'll come back later.
Okay.
And so and then I got to follow that up. So of course, with the I'm a barrel through, you know what I'm saying, while I'm moving with the talking about with the bullet. Music's therapeutic, no theraflu in the fillet is filling up in my chalice. This is medicinal poisons we sip, but we are kings here, standing up on a palace long abandoned. My hands are callous, I'll carry them through the ruins. This is coming back to my decimation creation from the landing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like just landing and
the ruins that were left behind.
I'm just thinking of, I'm thinking about that. So I was thinking about that.
So that's a tie back from the first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And ruins are cool too, man, because I think about, I don't know, just being
like Pompeii and shit.
Oh man, like a traditional creative, man, like we can find a home in places like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't play on stage with these cats. You know what I mean? Like I like to chill in the catacombs and look up the writings on the wall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so and then you close, you know, my hands are callous. I'll carry them through the ruins. I'm carrying everybody I can through it. And then I thought it would be cool just to, it's nice every now and then. I don't usually do it, but you break the fourth wall with checking on the listener.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
You know what I mean? What's going on?
Especially when you've already kind of, to me, it seems like you've already given enough of yourself as far as story-wise. Like this is, I'm at this point. So enough about me. It's like, how are you doing? How are you doing?
Yeah. I like that little one right there. I don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dope. But in the middle of a verse, that's a perfect time to like check in on them and see, like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
And if you ever perform the track, yo, like that's a good thing. You'll be like spitting the bar and then be like, what's up? And be like, how you doing?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true. Next 4. I've seen the burial of Anubis from Apollo's chariot that has gotten the aerial viewing. For every phrase that we coined, they never gave to a Judas. Been holding back on some knowledge, ain't ready for all the students.
Man, this is the bar right here. Oh, hold on, man. We're gonna have
rewind.
I'm gonna have to rewind that real quick.
We're gonna have to hit him with that rewind soundtrack. I mean, the sound
that one more time because shit, those are some bars right there.
The whole thing?
Yeah, just say that one more time.
Seen the burial of Anubis from Apollo's chariot that it has an aerial viewing. For every phrase that we coined, they never gave to a Judas. Been holding back on some knowledge, ain't ready for all the students.
Shit. All right. I hate saying the word because I keep saying it, but unpack that shit. Because that shit is like, wow. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because it's like giving you kind of a history lesson, throwing you into like all kinds of things, yo. Like,
all right, bet. All right, so coming back from the first stanza, you know what I'm saying? The decimation, ruins. I'm carrying them through the ruins. This makes me think of just an ancient walk that you've just seen it all, you know, path of an old soul. So, you know, Anubis, that's a deity of, you know, and the cemetery thing goes back to the ruin part too, you know what I'm saying, in the catacombs. So this is just like how my brain just like links ideas, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so Anubis, that's the Egyptian deity of cemeteries and bombing. He's the one that walks with the kings to the underworld, and he's the cat that like weighs out the feather in the heart. Right?
Okay,
Once
got
you've
you.
been condemned by Osiris.
Got you.
so do you usually like, are you really into the Egyptian culture, like the ancient Egyptian cultures and stuff like that, like the history of it?
I mean, I'm not like super into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I just know a little something.
Yeah, a little
about
bit.
it.
There's certain parts that have stuck out to you.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember when you sent me the vocals on that, and it's like, yo, seeing the burial of Anubis, I was like, let me Google this.
And it's crazy because from what
I
you're
was like,
saying,
who the fuck is Anubis? But it was dope, yo. Like,
it's
once
the
I heard
dog-headed.
it. Yeah.
It's the dog-headed being.
See, I wasn't aware, but like until he sent me the vocals, and I was like, man, that shit was.
Yeah, I thought it'd be cool to like, you know what I'm saying? Like you just, you know what I'm saying, this long walk, and you just see all these gods die from like not tending to their wounds. You know what I mean? And just the test of time. Yeah. And so bringing it back to one in the chamber, you know what I'm saying? I'm back to the Egyptian chambers, pyramids, and all that shit. And this is how everything like kind of connects. And you know, chamber of the heart. This is the guy that weighs out your heart. You know what I mean? Like it's all like there's a lot of little connected.
There's a lot of
lines. You know what I mean?
And now it's his turn to be buried.
Right.
Bugged.
Right.
Yo,
And then
isn't that shit crazy? Like, what's his name? We had Orion on the show, and one of the things that he said was that tiebacks are very rarely ever honored or not honored, celebrated or rewarded because you know, like if you see you hear a metaphor, or you hear a simile inside of the bar, you know, obviously the audience will catch that really quickly, and then it's like, oh, that was dope. But tiebacks in the writing is very rarely ever rewarded, and that's one of the reasons why we're here, yo. And I know for a fact, because I've known you for so long, that you have a lot of tiebacks in your verses. Like, you do it a lot, and it's like, it's brilliant. You know what I'm saying?
No, man, thanks. And a lot of times when you're doing it, like, there's tiebacks that, like, unless I really explain that with you guys, these are just like the little secrets that you have.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
and that's
nobody will ever know about it. You know what I mean?
And those are the codes in Barcodes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
But and yeah, so you're watching this dude be buried. You want to just switch up the guys, go to Greek mythology now, and you're doing it from Apollo's chariot, you know, aerial viewing for a wake, you know, and then at this point, like, I know I'm getting towards the end, you know what I mean? I know I'm there, so I can kind of like look off in the distance, and I can see Beleaf looking at me through the stained glass window of his church and shit, and I'm like, all right, I gotta get back over there at some point, you know what I mean? And so that's where we come in with, for every phrase that we coined, they never gave to Judas, and now I'm back, you know, towards the finish line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, with the students, you know what I mean? We only give you a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not everybody's ready for it.
Right.
And I think it leans towards something that I've learned, that a lot of times information comes to us at all points, but if we're not ready to receive it, it's like, what good is it?
Right.
Yeah.
What good is it? So you've made the connection that between that and being concerned of sharing some knowledge with someone who might be a Judas, who might take that knowledge and turn it against you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have to keep an eye out for that situation and those who are just not ready to hear it. That's what I'm getting from those last three lines.
Yeah,
so,
no, you're there. You're there.
Oh, dope.
Last four. So even though my eyes are pooling, I'll never loosen my anchor. Depending on who's shooting, a bullet can be a savior. Reclusive in nature, from hell is where I'm rooting, while branching out to the heavens to bear the fruits of my labor.
Yo.
That, like, fuck. Yeah, just round of applause on that shit, man.
Thanks, dog.
Yeah. That's
Well,
Yeah, Joey, every time I hear a Joey verse, man, I'm just like, damn, bro, like, this nigga really knows how to, like, manipulate the words and do the tiebacks and he makes you think in every bar. You know what I'm saying? Even on the braggadocious bars. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not like just regular braggadocious shit. There's some deep meaning in each line every time he does it. So it's
man,
like,
thanks, man.
gotta give you props on that, man. You know?
Appreciate you.
Give another round of applause
Let's
for
do
my
that,
man
bro.
Joey. Now, all right, so we gotta unpack this last the finishing lines on these bars right here. So even though my eyes are pulling, so your eyes are watery, I'll never loosen my anchor, meaning like you standing firm. Depending on who's shooting.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Is he standing firm or is he never loosen? It's okay. So loosen anchor could, and I could be wrong. Loosen anchor means you're loosening it, letting it drop, and becoming fixated in one spot.
Right, you want to keep moving.
You want to keep moving.
Oh,
so yeah.
I thought loosen. All right.
Yeah,
I guess.
no, and
I thought the
I-
anchor was already down. All right, so you
Yeah.
never. All right.
You don't want to loosen. You want to let it drop.
keep it
Okay.
up.
Yeah.
All right.
So no matter how much water accumulates in your eyes, you don't want to sit in the moment.
You gotta
drop
keep it
your
moving.
anchor.
Yeah,
You
can't
gotta
stay
keep moving.
stationary.
Right.
Perfect. All right. Depending on who's shooting, a bullet could be a savior. See that line, even when you sent it to me, was a very standout line, because it was like, depending on who's shooting, a bullet could be a savior. Because the truth is, it's like, I mean, for instance, like when a dog has rabies, you know what I mean? A bullet can be a savior. It's like, yo, this dog can't go through
Right.
life or whatever, or if the dog
Okay.
is paralyzed or whatever and can't be able to eat whatever. Sometimes a sacrificial death is the answer. You know what I'm saying? So like a bullet could be a savior. That's the way I got it from that line when I heard it.
No, and you're right, you know, but it was also meant to be a play on the first bar that came before it, which is like my eyes are pulling.
Yeah.
So this is a play on perspective, which is connecting to your eyesight. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
All right,
Got
so
you.
how
Yeah.
unpack that, like connecting to your eyesight as far
Like,
as
cause
like how?
it's just my, like when I'm thinking about ideas, it just like images kind of flash. So
Yeah.
like my first bar, like I'm thinking about, you know what I'm saying, water, you know what I'm saying, someone's eyes and
Yeah.
what they're doing. And so that makes me think about, you know, we should talk about perspective, which is the intro to the next line.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just a
Oh, okay,
reaffirmed
okay.
perspective.
I see.
Yeah.
What you're
You know
saying.
what I mean?
So that line right there is
it's
a metaphor for perspective.
Yeah,
It fortifies.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? It's from wherever you're standing from.
All right,
Like,
I
how
see
do you
it.
see it?
Yeah.
reclusive in nature. That should be just branded on your chest.
You heard of Naughty by Nature. Check out Reclusive by Nature.
Album drops in 2023. But from hell is where I'm rooting, while breaching out to the heavens.
Branching.
While branching out to the heavens to bear the fruits of my labor. All right, so break those down.
We're just reclusive in nature. I'm thinking of nature, you know what I'm saying, and growth. And so if you're rooting like a tree from hell, you're branching out to what you can get, you know what I mean, in hopes of bearing the fruit that comes from that tree of your labors, you know what I mean, and so you're just doing a play on just nature, I suppose. You know what I'm saying, at the end, but you're also like mixing it in with your religion stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the fun part about this finisher is that I think at this point we're like on group E or something like that, or maybe group. Yeah, so we're on a lower group.
Yeah. So D or E.
But now, since we're ending with hell, heaven.
Yeah.
We're coming back full circle to the angel, the Bob Dylan angel, and not only that, but we're back to group A. Because parachute from the scraper, bear the fruits of my labor.
Yeah.
And so now we're back home. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yo, okay.
Bars.
So yeah.
Bars.
Yo, if you would allow me to throw just a scenario out there, taking into considering the very beginning of the verse and then where we find ourselves now. Okay, you left devastation after jumping off this roof for the haters. Okay, left devastation, and then is there a possibility that where you ended up was way below what you thought you were gonna hit, and now you're in hell and with not wanting to be there, but now you're rooting for everything to blossom and grow above you. Like, that's where I'm.
No, that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if I was thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, because rooting, you could be rooting for a team. Now you're rooting for, like, let's say, let's make mankind the subject.
Well, I'm not saying like I'm rooting.
Okay, all right. So it wasn't that.
I'm rooting.
No, I'm saying you're in hell, rooting for whatever's happening for the betterment.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
No, we're there.
Because the sky's the limit, and then when a tree goes, grows, they're looking for the sunlight, so it goes up to the heavens.
Right.
Yes. So, but you're doing it now. You find yourself in a place where it's not the most desirable spot, but here you are rooting for making sure that top of that tree reaches out as far as it could.
Right.
And each one of the fruits bared from the labor actually becomes a letter in the sky.
Letter in the sky. There you go, man.
No,
that's
but
what's up.
I mean, I could be way off, but that's my. We're talking about perception. That's where that takes me.
No, I think where that takes me. You're right in the arena, man. You're good.
Okay, so it's not the drinks.
No.
Seriously, yo, that's one of the joints that had the most plays off my album.
I know,
as well.
man. I low-key know that.
Yeah. It had the most plays on there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's saying a lot, because there is a lot of heavy hitters out there, and I'm not saying that it's. You know what I'm saying? There's no competition or nothing like that, but the truth of the matter is that song in particular, like, did a lot better than I originally thought the whole project would do. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember seeing the data that came back, and I was like, oh shit, Letters in the Sky is like number one out of all of it. And now, mind you, I had features with Onyx and Rockness Monster and all that stuff like that.
People have notoriety.
Yeah,
like
some people have notoriety, and I'm like,
and the one that stood out,
Joey Dasilva over here.
And you and I were in the middle of a fallout too. And I remember I saw that, I'm like,
Shall I wear a noose for my haters? Parachute from the scraper. Steps I made, examine, investigate my behavior while standing true in the crater that's left from making my landing. Forever take it for granted, I'm here to do them a favor. One from the chamber, barrel through while I'm moving. The music is therapeutic, no theraflu in the fluid. It's filling up in the chalice, standing up on the palace. Long long abandoned, hands are callous. I carry him through the ruins. How you doing? Seen a burial of Anubis on Apollo's chariot that ain't gotten aerial viewing. For every phrase that we coined, they never gave to a Judas. Been holding back of some knowledge, ain't ready for all the students. Even though my eyes are cooling, I never loosen my anchor. Dependent on the shooting, the bullet can be a savior. Reclusive in nature, from hell is where I'm rooting, while branching out to the heavens to bear the fruits of my labor.